Gosh, you could just tell this brother thinks he's the main character, like in the messed up Netflix love story type of way, you know? Now, obviously, everyone in their life should feel like the main character. But this brother, he looks like one of them off people. Like he's one of the finger painting, you know what I'm saying? The ones with the many different piercings and the weird kind of style. And you know, them kind of people, you know, they're always a bit weird. Always a bit weird. This famous artist is being accused of offing his ex-girlfriend, and honestly, after all the evidence that's been displayed, I'm convinced he did it. But you tell me if you agree with me or not. This artist's name is David. He's known for making all the recent heartbreak and emotional songs that you've been hooked onto on TikTok and Instagram. You know, on surface level, he's talented. I don't really listen to his music. I don't really like his music. You know, I'm not really a heartbreak love song person. You know, that's just me. But everyone else liked it and they viewed him as talented. A few weeks ago, it was revealed that his ex-GF was found in the back of his abandoned car in some place, and police took it into custody to investigate because, well, that's his ex-GF, and she was found passed away in the back of his car. So naturally, people were suspicious, but people were saying that he's not the one who did it because he hasn't been taken into custody, he hasn't been arrested or anything like that. Heck, even to this day, he's not even been arrested. Fast forward a few weeks later, though, as in this week, a lot of damning evidence has come out about this guy and how weird he is. For starters, this girl was a minor. Yep, 5 years difference, meaning that he's 20 years old and she was 14 before she went missing, and now she's 15.
We now know what police found when they searched his house yesterday. Here's everything you need to know. If you don't know, a body was found inside the trunk of a Tesla that was registered under singer David's name that was found abandoned just a few blocks away from his house. And tragically, the body was 15-year-old Celeste Rivas, who was allegedly David's girlfriend. But he was 20, she was 15. David hasn't been arrested yet because innocent until proven guilty, but he's looking so guilty, especially because of this new evidence where fans have unearthed a clip of David talking about his alter ego Atami, who is the evil version of him that comes out at random times and commits murders.
There was an evil version of myself that would kind of come out at random moments, and he would commit the crimes that I would have to solve as a detective. I'd be like solving murders that I'm committing myself.
And this alter ego of his even stars in a music video where you can see him and his friends putting a body in a trunk. Fans also noticed he was obsessed with Celeste. He would release songs or music videos on every single one of her birthdays every single year. Even a music video for his song called Romantic Homicide, where he kept hiring girls that looked like Celeste to be in the music video. And the lyrics to that song say, "I killed you in my mind and I didn't even feel bad."
I didn't kill her physically, but in the back of my mind, she died. And I didn't even cry, not a single tear.
Fans have also unearthed new evidence of a unreleased song that was supposed to come out in March 2025, where it sounds like he's downright confessing to a homicide.
Nobody ever caught me, I ain't tell them nothing. Do the same if they ask you about her.
As I said, David isn't arrested, but he's working with the cops closely who have him as the prime suspect, so he can't finish the rest of his tour. But at that tour that was canceled, he would bring a casket and make it funeral themed every single time. After Celeste went missing 1.5 years ago, like on that missing poster said, she would pop up in behind the scenes videos at David's concerts. You can see her there, but she would keep her hood up and be discreet. She would pop up in David's live stream, and if someone asked her age, he would respond, "Are you a Fed? Like, are you gonna call the cops on them?" Because allegedly David would just always want to keep her real age hidden. And a leaked video of a live stream where Celeste talks about how they, since David didn't want that information out, he muted it and then told all the people who were watching to delete what they just saw.
That's controversial.
It's controversial of kids.
Delete everything. Everything goes.
After a while, she had to delete her username because people were figuring out her age, so she was just known as @deleted_user. And David said, "Me and @deleted_user have a kid on the way." That same deleted user would post photos of her with a ring on her finger and a David tattoo.
I'm sorry, post-editing here. Who does this? Who does this? Everyone's kind of creeped out because it's kind of sick how something as bad as this would happen, and coincidentally, you have all of this evidence that circle around you being the murderer or knowing of the murder of this woman in the back of the car, because in the music video is even like him putting her body in the back of the car. So everyone's kind of connected the dots together and they're trying to counsel him right now. Rightfully so, because this is a very weird situation. Even if he didn't do it, it's a minor. And I'm not convinced, to be honest, me personally, I don't think that the guy is innocent, because we all know how people be attached to their exes nowadays. You trying to tell me that a girl that you clearly are obsessed with, you've made songs about, you've been on Discord with, group chats with, you've got matching tattoos, you've got all types of stuff together. You just didn't happen to know where she went or what happened to her after you stopped dealing with her? Yeah, nah, buddy. I don't buy it for a second. And you know the funny thing about this situation is because I saw a video of the guy performing the song about the girl, right? And midway through the song, everyone was pointing out that he started crying. And at the time, it just seemed like he was just very emotional and getting into it, the song. But looking at it now, seeing him cry and get all emotional about the song, a lot of people were saying that, you know, oh, this is low-key a confession or he feels bad for what he did. And I just find it so cringe. Now, obviously, the whole situation isn't funny, but the thing that really baffles me and makes me chuckle about this whole situation is because when you look at the way he performs these songs and the way he's just looking and standing there, gosh, you could just tell this brother thinks he's the main character, like in the messed up Netflix love story type of way, you know? Now, obviously, everyone in their life should feel like the main character. But this brother, he looks like one of them off people. Like he's one of the finger painting, you know what I'm saying? The ones with the many different piercings and the weird kind of style. And you know them kind of people, you know, they're always a bit weird. Always a bit weird, in my opinion. Like you could just see him in the concert crying about it, you know, and singing about the song, and he's looking up in the sky and things of that nature. And it's just like, you can, if it comes out that he is responsible for doing this, you could just imagine him in court saying some dumbish, some main character Netflix series saying like, oh, I'm responsible. I wanted to get caught. That's why I wrote all these songs, and that's why I did all that, because I love her and I felt guilty about it, and I just wanted to get caught. I needed to get caught because I deserved to get caught. And I knew I would get caught one day, talking like he's like Yagami or something like that. The guy just annoys the piss out of me, to be honest. When I look at his face, he annoys me. But I'm going to not be biased, because just because I don't like the person doesn't mean I'm going to start saying all kinds of hoo-ha on this app. Now, for the fact that police haven't arrested him yet, he could be innocent. We have to put in context that innocent until proven guilty. But I'm willing to bet that after I post this video, he's going to get arrested and something is going to happen to him or whatever it is. But point is, this is a weird situation. And the reason why I'm looking at this situation overall, right, is because there's a lot of people to blame about it. For one, people are saying it may be the management that knew about the whole situation, or he hired a few people, because we do also know that he paid people for their silence. Yes, he paid people to silence them about him dealing with this minor. And on top of that, clearly people were involved with this whole situation. There's also rumors that a baby was on the way and he got this minor pregnant and stuff like that. And how convenient that she went missing and passed away when the news of her being pregnant was also revealed. There's also people in the Discord who apparently knew that she was a minor dealing with an adult. People are annoyed about that. There's also people blaming the mom, because why has your daughter run away from the house that many times and gone missing? So many people to point the fingers at and stuff like that. But one thing is for certain, and that one thing we need to pay attention to, is that this David guy has problems. Like, no, without a shadow of a doubt, has problems. When you just look at him and the things that he sings about, it may be considered as art. Yes, it may be art. But with the way this is all going, right, and the even if, say, like this all ends up to be a huge coincidence, which I doubt it is, this guy is a weirdo. I think one thing that this culture is normalizing is like this weird, creepy obsession with your ex. And we're also seeing people have an obsession with the minors. But we're not going to talk about the minors today. We're going to talk about the whole ex and stuff like that. When you see David's music and you see what he sings about, naturally speaking, art is art. Let the person express what they want to express. But this whole thing about murdering your ex and him performing tours where he gets people to carry a casket in representation of the ex that's passed away, or him, you know, being so confident of wearing merch that has blood all over it, as if, you know, all kinds of things that is like he's actually murdered. It's so weird and it's so creepy. We have a lot of demonic people pretending that their form of love is a normal kind of, it's just a different alternative type of love, but really it's just straight up demonic. Who thinks of this? Really and truly, who thinks of this? This isn't normal. You get me? I'm coming from a Christian perspective, right? From what we see in the Bible, what is love? Love is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. It's that kind of respect and regard for human life and wanting the best for each other. Me personally, right? Even if the relationship ends, why do you have to do all of this kind of weird stuff? This whole obsession and then say it's art. I feel like when people do art, yes, it's a reflection of their emotions. And if it's a reflection of your emotions to be doing things like this, what does that say about you? Because I sure as hell don't sit there thinking of murdering my exes. Let them go and live their lives. And I hope they're not thinking about the same thing of me. But this dude has this weird obsession with his ex. And a lot of people would think that, oh, this is just normal. This is heartbreak stuff for X, Y, and Z. But I generally think that this dude is demonic, to be honest with you. And guys, seeing this whole situation unfold, whatever happens with this situation, whether he's innocent or guilty or not, the point is be careful of who you go out with. Because there's a lot of people out here who, yes, they do love you, but it's in a very demonic way. It's not even love, it's like a creepy demonic obsession. This kind of creepy demonic obsession where they don't even regard your human life. They don't even regard your experience. They just consider their experience overall. And naturally, yeah, you're meant to consider your experience, you know, that's meant to happen. But let's look at the whole context of this situation, right? His ex has passed away, and this dude is making music of this nature. His ex has passed away and he's making music of this nature. His ex was announced chopped up at the back of his old Tesla, and he was still performing on his tour. And he claims he loves her. He claims that he loves her. But me personally, what I can see, right, is that this whole Celeste girl that we see, the girl's name is Celeste, this whole experience that we see, right, he sees it as this arc of his story, and he's the main character and things of that nature. Whereas this Celeste girl, what about her life? What about her family life? What about her future? What about all the things that she went through? It's always about him. What about Celeste? You know, what about her future? Like, where is the discussion about Celeste and all things of that nature? You know, clearly Celeste is just a period of his life where he's using it to his advantage. But you will have a lot of people that are in the world like that. You know, they think it's love, but really it's just an obsession over you and how you add to their lives. Never actually, you know what, let me consider their lives as well. You never want to be dealing with people like that because they don't really regard your human life. And if they don't regard your human life, naturally speaking, well, things like this happen. We see in all of the cases where there's people out there who will murder their ex or will do all kinds of stuff like that. And we're not talking about the extreme cases where someone generally has a mental breakdown. But we're talking about ish where it's like crimes of passion, as I like to say. When it comes to things like crimes of passion, things like this happen. And they see you as more of an accessory to their life, to the point where if you leave, they have no choice but to get rid of you or do something bad to you. And I would hate for you guys to deal with a partner who is that toxic and never gives you the peace of mind that you deserve. There's a lot of people out here, granted, they want to be in love, but it's not everyone's love that you should accept. Some people are genuinely crazy. Some people are really willing to die about that stuff. Some people really have creepy fantasies and demonic dark fantasies where you are involved, and if you don't get involved or you break their heart or you leave them, they're going to just off you because you are their property, you are their experience, and they're going to take the most advantage of you. They're not thinking about what you want to do. They're not thinking about your health. They're not thinking about your safety. They're not thinking about your life. They're just thinking about purely them. And the way we see this whole David situation, for me, is just all creepy. I like to hope that this didn't actually off this minor and do that. But not gonna lie, it's so likely that he did it. I don't see any other way that he didn't do it. But I could be wrong, and I don't want to, you know, throw accusations on someone in X, Y, and Z. You feel me? If I do end up being wrong, I'll probably most likely delete this video. But the lesson is, watch out for who wants to be in love, because not every love that's a healthy love. A lot of loves that you see nowadays are demonic types of love, and it may seem cute at first that they're obsessed with you, but you'll come to find out the reason they're obsessed with you is because you are an accessory to them rather than a human being, an equal to them that is in a loving, healthy relationship. And once you see them as an accessory, we all know what happens with accessories. If it breaks, you throw it away. If it gets old, you throw it away. Whatever the case may be, you do not want to be somebody's accessory. You want someone who respects your human life. You want someone who values your experience, and you want someone who looks at you and thinks, you know what about them? Rather than, oh, me. this, that, and the third, blah, 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 blah. I mean, even if Celeste was alive and he didn't do it, right? How creepy is it, you being an ex, that you just see your ex writing music about you? It's about them offing you and stuff like that. Like, what? Like, have some respect. But regardless the case may be, my people, what do you guys think about this situation? Do you agree with my take? Do you think what I'm saying is true? And if you ever run into a situation where things were getting dark with your ex and things of that nature, if you have, please type it down in the comments so people, we can spread the word and awareness that things like this happen and there's weird creepos out there that do weird stuff like this, because I'd hate for other people to get in situations like that, because there's a lot of people who are in those situations who don't know how to get out because it's scary and it's really dark. But regardless the case may be, my people, I'll see you guys in the next video. God bless. Take care. You guys have a lovely week.